All right, Shelly and Dawn, thank you very much for spending some time with us today. I appreciate it a ton.
Sure.
Okay, so the goal with this today is me, Alexis, and Rob are here, but we'll end up sending this out to all the other people I work with at EXP. So I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 additional people who I end up talking to like all throughout the week. So I just kind of wanted to get this recorded so we can get a lot of like the basic stuff out of the way and hopefully make the job way easier and ours. So I'm wondering if you can just go through like the basic title, and then I'll have questions at the end, but like the basic title process, like what does title do? Why is it important? That kind of stuff just to start.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that the process is when the order comes in, it goes to our order department, and then once it's done, it goes to Shelley. And that's when we're able to see what exactly is on the commitment as far as like payoffs or HOAs or liens or, anything.
Any title clearance.
Anything. And that is the most important part, because your seller is, paying for an owner's policy to ensure clear title for the buyer. So that is what we're here for, to make sure that they're doing. So
yeah. And at that point, that's when I get the commitment. I will send out emails to both the buyer side, the seller side, and the lender, and ask them for whatever we might need to clear title, or if it's the lender, if you're doing the loan side, for their lender title stuff, so we can get them the necessary documents. So that email goes out within 24 hours of that commitment being done with the exam department.
Okay, yeah. So that was the thing. I'm always trying to like peek that in the curtain. So there's an exam department, and basically what they're doing when we request pre-title is they're doing like a deep dive search looking for any liens, like anything, any encumbrances, lawsuits, anything like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
The commitment's going to detail, hey, this is the stuff we need to get cleared essentially in order to sell this thing.
Correct. Yeah. And at that point, I'm going to email you when that commitment comes out and say, we need A, B, C, and D to clear title. It might be a payoff. It might be HOA information if I can't locate it. It could be past liens. We might need different things. And that's when I'm reaching out to you guys.
Okay, cool. All right. So then obviously you process everything, Shelly. And then once we get through, Dawn, you're taking over, and then you're working with the lender to balance and then send out closing statements, right?
Correct. Yes.
Cool.
We are very departmentalized here, which is it's a good thing and a bad thing, but because it goes through so many hands. But Shelly and myself are your guys' main contact always. But there are different people that will work on the CD with the lender. So it does get a little confusing and hectic, but
yeah,
it generally I
mean, it works great for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the stuff you do. So thanks.
If you ever have a question or anything, just shoot Dawn and I an email.
Yeah.
One of us will respond to it and get you to either myself or Dawn, whoever's got to answer it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I personally have a pretty good understanding of the stuff. I was just trying to figure out like what is happening in the background. I know all the stuff I need to, I think for the most part, although I get into some weird creative stuff lately, but all right. So seller is always paying for the owner's policy, and then buyer is always paying for the lender's policy, right?
Correct.
All right. And so owner's policy, I'm just going to write this. I already know this, but for notes, because we'll send these out. Seller pays for owner's policy, buyer pays for lenders. And then so owner's policy is basically ensuring that they have clear title and can sell it, right?
Correct.
And so if a house got sold and somebody said, oh, John didn't have the right to sell it, I did, that's when owner's policy insurance would.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And then lender's policy is kind of the same thing on the other side. It's just ensuring that the buyer is the person who has sole rights to it.
Correct. And then that the lender has first lien rights on the property.
Oh, got it. So lenders require that, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right. So every once in a while we get a random, I think it's insane, but random person who wants to just totally skip title insurance because they want to save $1,000, and it's just not belonging to me. But that person is like totally running the risk of all sorts of stuff, right? Other people having liens.
Correct, yes. I mean,
That
we
was-
do deals where they're called the quick claim deed deals,
Right.
where we just do like a search, what have you, and then we do a quick claim deed deal. I mean, quick claim deed versus a warranty deed.
Yep.
So, and that there's just very minimal charges there.
Yeah, so I actually just had to do that Lansing one, Shelley. Because we ended up just like doing creative finance where we assume the mortgage. But like in a traditional sale, I couldn't ever imagine a reason where somebody it
Right.
would be intelligent to skip in title insurance. That would be insane on a normal buy sell. To me.
Yeah, I know, for sure. I don't understand it, but
Yeah. I don't get it.
Okay, so in regards to quit claims, like I have to do those on pretty much all stuff we buy, like when we close and then quit claim it into a new LLC.
all right.
So my question is, like, how does title become clouded? Like when people say there's like clouded title, I don't understand. Does that just mean there's a break in the chain of ownership? Like it's not clear who owned this, or I don't even. I would love
Oh,
to.
yeah, exactly. It'd be like, for instance, like when you say that we sell a deal and it's in Joe Blow's name, but then Joe Blow, right after closing, decides to put it in his LLC. And
Yeah.
let's say that deed gets recorded before the warranty deed. So
Mhm.
that clouds title because you're putting the LLC in title first versus him as an individual, which should have went first. So that's just basically what that means. So you
Okay.
always gotta wait to record the second deed.
Got it. So that's something you all do, like when I make purchases, do you just like send the other one out later?
Yes, we don't note the file and we
What's
send
up,
it out.
Charlie?
Hello, folks. How you doing?
So good. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Just got off a long conversation with my head examiner back there about
Oh,
a problem. You know, the things I do on my daily basis. These ladies come to me with all the crap.
Well,
Cool.
Nick was asking about the exam department and stuff.
I
They were-
was.
Yeah,
Was trying to learn about clouded title and how not to cloud title.
right. I just used an example as like recording a deed, quitclaim deed versus a warranty deed first, you know, how we do that after
Yeah.
title put in else.
Yeah.
But there's
Okay.
a way to cloud title actually, so.
Yeah, we have one right now where we have a court order. It was a quiet title action. So the guy that owned the property had the quiet title from an interest. Let's say Dawn wanted to get the property and she had an interest, so we quieted title to eliminate her interest. Okay, so we
Okay.
have a court judgment. You have to go to court. The court rules on it and says, okay, quiet title action. Charlie, you have the property. Dawn, you're out the door.
Got
Well,
it.
now there's a court order that states that she no longer has an interest in the property, but she, in her infinite stupidity, if you want to call, I'm not calling her stupid, but the fact of the matter is she gets a judgment against her and then she goes and draws up a claim of interest and files it against the property,
Okay.
saying, aha, I'm going to get my last, ditch effort to kind of screw you guys.
Yeah.
So if that she goes and does this hillbilly claim of interest and now puts it of record, now we have to go back to the underwriter, show them that the claim of interest is really an illegitimate claim of interest because she just lost it in a quiet title action. So now we got to get the underwriter to give us their approval saying, yeah, it's not a legitimate claim. So those are the kind of things that you can claim title on. It's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. That is super interesting. I was trying to think like claims of interest and stuff. So on flip, I hear about this every once in a while, flips, something like that. If say there's like a dipstick owner of a property and they don't pay a contractor, contractors can do like a claim of interest, right? Or like put like not a mechanics lien, a
Mechanics,
Mechanics lien.
yeah.
Mhm.
It
Oh,
is
it is
mechanics.
mechanics lien.
Yep.
So that they can ensure that they get paid when and if that thing is sold, right?
Right.
Like an additional lien on it.
Yeah. Well, mechanics lien, they have 90 days in which after they have 90 days to file a lien after they've done the work. So if they did the work today, their last bit of work was today, they have 90 days from today to file a lien.
Okay.
Now that mechanics lien is only good for a year because you can't cloud the title forever. So if you think you have not been paid for your services, Nick, you've
Yep.
got 90 days to file the lien.
Okay.
And then from that date forward, you have a year to perfect the lien, which means you have to go to court and now get a court judgment to either get a ruling, yes, you're entitled to money, or a ruling you're not entitled to the money. If after a year you don't go to court to perfect your lien, that lien falls off. It's only good for a year.
Okay, what if they're still like in court proceedings in the year and it's not done? Do they can they file it again or
Well,
you can't?
if there's court proceedings that are now in a position where, let's say you as the subcontractor,
Yep.
11 months, you waited 11 months for me to pay you, and I haven't paid you, finally say, screw it, I waited long enough, I'm going to court. Now, if that court action, a lawsuit emanates, whether, it could be anywhere within that year period of time. Once the court action starts, we can't close until such time the court judgment is rendered.
Right. So with
it
that,
can go past the year.
oh, it could go past the year then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, if for whatever reason it fell off and you weren't in a court proceeding, can that contractor file, like just do a new updated mechanics lien, like over and
No.
over every year?
No, you just can't keep re-upping it. It's not like the IRS. The IRS can re-up their, after 7 years. I think
Yes.
it's 10 years or something, they can re-up it. These subcontractors can't do that.
Okay, so the IRS can do that every 7 to 10 years. So their IRS stuff doesn't disappear.
No,
All right, not surprising, but good to know.
Yep.
All right, is there any risk to too many like quit claim deeds? Like, could that get weird and cloudy? Like if you went purchased personally, quit claimed into an LLC, quit claimed back to personal to do a refi, then quit claim back to LLC to hold it. That I assume that would get weird eventually, or is that not really a risk?
not really. It's not a
Oh.
risk. We see that quite often when somebody takes title to a property and they take out a mortgage. Now, with a mortgage, you have to take it out, hold on a second. You have to take it out individually,
Right.
but because an entity such as an LLC or a trust, it's an entity. So you
Right.
can't foreclose on an entity because the entity can be dissolved. So
Right.
the lender will make you mortgage the property individually, and then you individually will deed it into your trust or your LLC. And then when you go to refinance again, you have to take it out of your LLC or your trust so
Right.
that you can refinance individually and then back. We see that quite often that
Yeah.
when we've done refis. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I would do that personally. Cool. Okay, well, it's good to know there's no real risks there.
The only risk that we have is to make sure that when it's an LLC or a trust,
Yeah.
we have to see the trust papers to make sure that the person that's deeding from the trust or the LLC is the person in power to do that. So we'll have to see your LLC, the operating agreement. We'll have to see the trust to make sure that we have a deed properly conveying from the trust or the LLC back individually.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. Just gotta confirm they have the right to do it, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
What's the advantage of a quick claim? I mean, it's pretty much like an investor tool, it seems like. What's the advantage?
Well, the advantage for a quick claim deed, if you've got a person that's buying property like on a tax title situation, a quick claim deed allows me to convey my title over to you. I'm transferring my title to you, but I'm not conveying the title. I'm not warranting the title. So any issues that I might have when I bought the property or I have while owning the property, they now transfer with the property to you. The warranty deed, if I sign a warranty deed, I'm warranting the property to you that is clear. With a quick claim deed, all I'm doing is conveying my title interest and I'm not warranting the condition of the property. So at this point, I can deed this property, and you'll see that a lot of times with tax title. Investors that buy properties on tax title, they will deed the property to an unsuspecting individual with a quick claim deed, and all those issues that come up with tax title now fall on that new owner's lap. And they go to sell the property and they're saying, we come back to them and say, hey, well, it's tax title, you got this problem, you got this problem. And they're saying, what the hell's going on? Is because this guy, he deeded the property from himself to this unsuspecting buyer, and with all the problems that go along with it.
Those problems could be things like liens, like what are common problems that would be an issue in that situation?
Well, in keeping with the tax title situation, it would be a situation where improper foreclosure, okay? So tax title, when somebody doesn't pay their taxes, let's take me for an example. If I own this property and I haven't paid my taxes, in 2000, what year are we in? 2020?
23,
2000,
2020.
2020, I haven't paid my taxes. They'll notify me when I haven't paid my taxes. They'll say, hey, Charlie, you ding dong, you haven't paid your taxes. So we move on. 2021 comes in. I don't pay my taxes. They send me another notice. And then 2022, they come back and say, ding dong, you haven't paid your taxes for 2 years. We're selling it now. In order for them to put it up on tax sale auction, they have to notify me in person. I have to have personal notice. That means they send out certified mail to me, and I have to acknowledge that. If they don't do it properly, the tax foreclosure acquisition of the property can be, if you would, objected to by me. And at that point, I can come back and file a claim or a lawsuit against the company or the owner of the property at that time. So we as title companies are really hesitant on ensuring tax title just because most of the time it's not done properly.
Oh,
And
boy.
that's why the person who bought it on tax title quit claims their interest to the new person, because they know that it was probably not done properly, and they don't want the new buyer coming back to them, because on a quit claim deed, you can't come back to the person who deeded the property. It severs your ability to sue them. With a warranty deed, I can convey the property to you. With a warranty deed, you have the ability to sue me for damages due to the fact that title was not clear when I deeded the property to you.
Got it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? That was a lot. All right.
You got 4 hours to think about it while you drive.
Yeah,
Yeah, Charlie, I got to drive up to Petoskey all of a sudden today. So I'm going there and back same day today.
Oh, fun
gosh.
times.
8-hour trip to think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be an 8-hour trip. I'll be glued to my phone. Just
yeah.
go away. All right, cool. So I have an interesting one that you already have done pre-title on. We've been begging this lady to turn in her stuff forever. 18399 University. Well, it wasn't a foreclosure. A woman passed away. She bought a condo in Livonia by Laurel Park.
Okay.
She passed away before she could move in, like 2 years ago. She had no will, no trust, nothing. So it went to probate. Her niece, Okima, got the right to sell it. For whatever reason, they sat on it. Her ability to sell it lapsed. So she just went back to court,
Yeah.
got approved again a couple weeks ago. Now she's like turning in an inventory or whatever. But
Right.
now, because they've delayed so long, the foreclosure process has begun.
Mhm.
And it went up at sheriff's sale last week. How do I even find out if that thing was sold? And like, in terms of title, what does that do for, because she still has a 6-month redemption period for me to sell this thing, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. She still has.
So she's got to,
Oh, so
she's
let's-
got to have proper
Oh,
documentation right now, because, because the person that had the mortgage,
Yeah.
the mortgage or the deceased person,
Yeah.
usually lenders, and correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, lenders will not talk to somebody unless you have
I need the letter of authority and the death certificate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have to have the letters of authority and letters certificate so that we can communicate, or at least get the niece to give us permission to talk to these people,
Mhm.
because without that permission, they won't talk to us. But yeah, you have 6 months from the day of the redemption to, not the redemption, but the day of sale, in the redemption period. So you have no problem selling this property.
I just have to figure out who the bidder is on the sheriff's sale.
Yeah.
On the sheriff's deed. To go
Yeah, some-
after who I'm getting payoff from.
Yeah, I
Sometimes-
also don't even know if it's sold. So how can I check if it actually sold?
We have to wait for the sheriff's deed to come of record, so if it just went last week, it'll probably be a couple more weeks before
Yeah.
it shows, but I'll do a title update.
Okay.
Or if you have the necessary document, we could probably call
Was,
the company, the sheriff's sale.
yeah, was
You
there
know,
anything posted to the door?
She was there within the last week and she didn't see anything.
Cause
I-
there would have been a notice posted to the door and it would have told me who the attorneys were, Trot and Trot or Schneiderman, whoever it might be. And then that's who I can reach out to see, cause sometimes they'll know before it even goes of record, the sheriff's deed, who got it.
Okay. Okay, so if she sees anything on the door, we gotta make sure she gets us that info ASAP.
Yes, correct,
Absolutely.
yes.
That's
And
fine.
it would have been posted before the sheriff sale even happened.
Okay,
So this would have been posted, if it went last week, it would have been posted a while ago.
Is somebody living there right now, Nick?
no, she's not, and I talked to my broker who used to like exclusively do like foreclosures and stuff, work directly with banks, and she's like, you need to make it look like somebody's living there immediately.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because they can do abandonment procedure, but
Yep.
they're already selling it right now. But you're right, the third party bidder can
Yeah.
come in and say, hey, nobody's living here, so I gotta protect my interests, so I'm gonna do abandonment procedures and get a, you know.
Shorten that redemption to now.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so what is that? Cause I don't okay, so we don't have it listed because I wouldn't list it for her until she has not turned. Me and Alexis have been asking her for stuff. I don't know how long. How long you think, Alexis? 8 weeks or something, at least?
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple months.
Yeah, months. So
Yeah.
I don't have it listed because I wouldn't list it until I knew this thing was actually gonna be, I didn't want to, make us do a ton of stuff. But what is it? So say somebody bought it at the sheriff's sale and they see that it's empty. What is the process they can do? They can shorten the redemption period?
Yeah, it's an abandonment process. And what that does is allows the third party bidder, it could be a bank. I mean, they could bid on their own mortgage and take the property back through sheriff's sale. Or it's a third party bidder comes in and they realize that the property is vacated. So what they have the ability to do is to protect their asset. Right now, if it's gonna sit there for the next 6 months vacant, it could be vandalized or something like that. So they have the ability to now hasten the redemption period by doing abandonment to take the property back within like 30 days.
Oh, boy.
So yeah, so your broker is 100% correct. You gotta get in there, make it look like somebody's living in there, so that at this point, they can come in and they can't come in and do abandonment.
She,
Oh, boy.
she probably wants to reach out to the HOA too and let them know that she's in the process of selling it so they don't place any HOA liens.
I think she hasn't paid HOA dues in forever. So
But
I'm,
if she communicates with them, it would stop them from actually placing the lien. Sometimes they will hold off knowing it's going through probate, it's going to sell. They
okay.
would get their money. Otherwise, they're gonna place a lien and now you've got additional attorney fees on top of that that are gonna kick in.
How much is this place worth, Nick?
I mean, it's in Laurel Park, it's a 1-bedroom, so lowest comp is like 180. It's like an easy little turnover, so I'll probably list it for like, I don't know, 150, I'd say max. They owed 72, I believe.
Oh,
So,
so you're gonna get a lot of third party bidders in there.
I mean, Yeah.
That's who it went to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's worth great location, obviously. It's super like easy to pick up, so
Right.
easy to flip. It's 900 square feet, single story. So, I mean, it'll take somebody like 2 weeks to turn around, maybe. So,
right.
all right, cool. Well, that's all good. Other questions I had, so like wholesaling, I don't do any wholesaling, but I'm curious, do you process any wholesale type deals?
Yes,
Oh, okay, cool.
yes. So that means where you're under contract,
And I'm just
Party
assigning
A-
I basically
party
just
A is under contract with party B, and party B then goes and finds another buyer, party C, and you assign your interest in the contract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and party B gets a check for the spread at close.
Yeah.
and that's where we charge it to the buyer, because a lot of times you don't want the seller to see what you're getting. Cause they're thinking, why in the hell did we sell it for
Bless
that,
you.
Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't you sell it for 200,000 instead of getting you $20,000 on the spread? So,
Yeah, so that's why I can't it's challenging for somebody with a real estate agent or broker license to wholesale and not be like at risk
yeah,
because we're fiduciaries. So I don't do
Yeah.
it. But how does that show up on an Alta? Because wholesalers are always sending me stuff. It's just like it's a debit basically to the buyer side, so it would essentially look like commission or something.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
exactly.
cool. Okay, so you can do a standard wholesale, and could you do like some people split close, right? Like a wholesaler, if they really want it to be not visible what they got, they'll close with the seller, and then walk into and do a secondary closing right away.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
we've
we
done
could
that.
do that. That's also an option too.
That's
Mhm.
not a problem. Yeah.
Right, cool. You just have title fees on two different closings, right?
Yeah, but the
correct.
title fee in the second closing is gonna be substantially, well, I don't know. It's not gonna be substantially less now with the credit's gone.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because now title insurance, yeah, in the past, for the last, I don't know, 6, 7 years, if you brought a title insurance policy in from a seller,
Yep.
they'd automatically, or if we did search on the property, if they bought the property within the last 2 years, they'd automatically get a credit on the title insurance policy. But now the title insurance underwriters have changed that. No longer is any policy credit being given. So if you bought this property 2 hours ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, it
Yep.
doesn't matter. You're getting full charge for the owner's
Mhm.
policy on the next
So
transaction.
you're gonna have two of them,
Mhm.
Yeah, you're gonna have two
two
fees,
closing fees, yeah,
Two-
you're gonna double everything on
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
round.
state and county transfer tax, you're gonna have all that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why a lot of these investors who are not real estate agents like to do the wholesaling because they don't have to bring it into their fold and then do all those extra charges.
Correct, yeah, and then they don't have to actually have the money. So on a split close, can the first sale like be held in escrow? Do you know what I'm saying? So that it could close in escrow, say party B in the middle. They do a split close, they close in the morning. Can that be closed in escrow while they wait to receive funds from the B to C closing? Like, what if investor B in the middle, the wholesaler, doesn't have money to close it, but they want to do a split close? Is that a possibility?
It can be done. It can be done. Oh, don't pull it. Don't pull it.
Charlie's in trouble. He's
Charlie's
gotta
in
go.
trouble.
Ah,
I got an appointment I gotta get to 11:30 in Brighton, but I wanted to come in and say hi to you guys.
well, thanks for hanging. I'll be talking to you soon. I'm gonna go see all this stuff today, so.
All right. Well, hey, write down your questions if these ladies or.
They're gonna
write down
crush it.
questions.
Okay.
And if they can't answer them, I'll be more than happy to get back with you guys.
Okay, thanks.
All right, happy travels. Nice seeing you guys.
I'm sorry.
Likewise, see you soon.
Now we're in
See-
trouble.
Yeah.
See, Tony's getting me in trouble.
Go, go.
I know.
go. Bye.
All right, cool. Okay, cool. So that was my other big question is like mortgage assumptions, subject to super creative stuff like that. Like when we just bought Lansing, we did that kind of subject to, I guess. We did like a mortgage assumption, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't even know. Do we need title on something like that if it's like legit, like a full-on mortgage assumption, the buyer's getting underwritten and approved by the new lender, or I'm sorry, by the original lender, then you would want title insurance, right?
You're still gonna want title. You
Yeah.
wanna see if there's anything else out there.
Sure.
What if they have, contractor liens, anything? You wanna
Yeah.
make sure what else is out there.
Okay, cool. Cool, yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
I
cool.
feel like no matter what, you have to have title though, because in any lapse, that's the clouding.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think the only reason we didn't do that on the last one was because you had already done a title search. I know the seller personally. We had a personal agreement written up with an attorney that if anything popped up, it's his thing. But we really just bought his LLC. So we were buying a business, not real estate technically. So that's why we didn't do insurance on that one, right?
But you guys changed into just
Right.
that, but we'd already ran title, so you already knew what was on there.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And me and Charlie and Andy know the seller very well. And so
Right.
we drafted an agreement with our attorney essentially, but okay, cool. So buying a business like an LLC is the only possible time, but I'd still want a title search anyways.
Yeah, even if you paid, the fee and ran a title search, it's always good to have that.
So worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have attorneys doing it all the time.
Okay, cool. Rob or Alexis, what do you got? I've asked 1,000 questions.
What about title work for commercial properties? Is like pretty much the same story, or does that start to blend like the LLC thing?
The
With-
only difference on title work for commercial, there's a 380 work fee. For the commercial property, it's added to the invoice,
380.
380, but the process is the same.
It's the same, just another fee basically, because it's
Yep.
commercial.
Yeah,
Because it's commercial.
and then the exam has to pull different docs and do different things,
there's-
so.
Yeah,
Okay.
different things that they have to do on the back end.
Okay.
But commercials works the
Yeah.
same.
Works the same.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rob, Alexis, anything else?
No, nothing for me. No, you guys covered a lot. Thank you so much for all the info.
Rob?
It's mainly Charlie. He loves to talk.
I appreciate all three of you. It was good. Rob, you got anything else?
I guess since I got you on the call, I've been emailing you about, basically the contractor lien stuff I gotta fill
Oh,
out
yeah.
for my flip house. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's me. I mean,
Yep.
you said the last 90 days. I'm just trying to think like, I guess I just want to know exactly everything I need to do, which you've pretty much spelled it out to me, but there's gonna be things that weren't done the last 90 days, but that were done to the house. Should I list those things?
You can list those things. And then we just need whoever the contractors were, which you said there was only one contractor.
Yeah, I mean, I had one guy service the furnace and I paid him already, so I don't know
Did
if
you
like
say service? Did he just come out and clean it or I mean, we're
he moved
looking,
it, he moved it.
okay. So yeah, we're looking for like major things. When you come in and tell me you did a whole gut of a kitchen and stuff, well, I know you got your granite countertop somewhere. We're looking for that. We're looking for where you got your cabinets, because you know, the big ticket items, new windows, wall side, you know, we need the, you know, paid in full receipts or them to sign a lien waiver. That's what we're looking for. Cause like he said, they have 90 days to come back and place a lien.
Okay.
So if that contractor for the furnace or the furnace was just in there today and we close Friday and you tell me I paid him, don't worry about it. And your check bounces. So you really didn't pay him. He's got 90 days after closing to come back and place that lien. Now you've clouded title for the buyer.
Okay, got it.
That's why it's so important we get the sworn statements and those lien waivers. And I call on every one of them, just so you know.
Okay. Even like,
Call to confirm.
even like my handyman who like did drywall and stuff like that.
Well, your handyman isn't gonna, that's between you and him. He's,
Okay.
right, he's not placing a lien or anything. He's your
Right.
guy, part of you.
Well, I
Am I-
contracted him out though. I don't own him.
Okay, so if you've contracted him out, well, some of them own them, so
Yeah.
that's why, yeah,
Yeah.
so if you
Yeah, I don't
contract
own him.
out, then he's gonna need to sign a lien waiver.
Okay,
Yeah. And basically, if he signs the lien waiver, I don't need paid receipts, because I just need him to tell me he's been paid in full.
yeah, that helps answer some questions. So
Yeah.
I'll pretty much just get anyone who's done anything. I mean, half of it, if not more, was me. But like the simple things like granite countertops, you know, that was someone else. So that'll be pretty
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, so if you purchased them from, you know, ABC Countertop Place, I just need that on the sworn statement and tell me when it was purchased. So if it was over 90 days ago, then, you know, we have some that, you know, fix and flip, but they've taken a year to do it. So really only the last 90 days, you know, 90 to 120 days is what we're looking at, because everything
Okay.
else has been done a long time ago.
Yeah, the counters were like December, maybe even November. So that was a while ago.
So I say, put the date on there, you know, counters, ABC countertops purchased X date, or, you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
Got
because Charlie or Tony, the owners, they review those.
okay.
Then I call on all the lien waivers and then they get me the approval to move forward.
So do I need to send the signatures or do I just list the names and then you get the signatures?
You have to sign with the signatures.
I send them the signatures.
Yeah, you send them that lien waiver form, they fill it out, sign it with their phone number, and then send it back to you, and then you provide them to me. The
Okay.
best thing to do when you're doing a flip is have your sworn statement and your lien waivers right there at the house. So when that contractor is done with that job, you pay him, he signs it right then and there, like a swap. You've
Okay.
got it, you don't even have to go back to him anymore. You fill out your sworn statement right there while you're doing the work. So
Yep.
by the time you're done with the project, all your documents are done to you.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what a lot of them are starting to do, just to make it easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have a question about that for bank draws. Like, we're doing this one in Petoskey. So, and Austin, my business partner, handles all this, but I would love to understand it better. So we have 4 draws and we've pulled 2 of them, but he's got to do so much stuff every time.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It seems like to me, I'm not the one doing it. I don't know. It just looks like a lot. So what he's doing basically is that what he's got to get sworn statements and a lien waiver signed by every person we've paid for stuff.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, the sworn statement is completed by the owner, so by you guys. But the lien waivers follow, and the lien waivers have to match the sworn statement. So if you tell me you got your countertops from ABC Countertop, but I get a lien waiver from Joe Bob, I'm gonna be wondering what's going on here, because we're matching.
Right. Okay.
We will go through and match them to make sure that we're getting everybody. Because like I said, the last thing we need is a lien after the fact that becomes a claim.
Right. Okay. All right. That was helpful. Didn't even plan to ask about that. That was good.
Yeah, Rob, if you
Okay.
have any questions, just yell at me and let me know. Send me what you have. We can look at it, tweak it.
Yeah, I guess worst comes to worst, I send what I have, and if I did something wrong, we just revisit.
I'll tell you, we'll make it right. No worries.
Cool.
All right. I'm good. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the
Yeah,
time
you're
today. It was so
touch
helpful.
base.
for me.
Thank you, ladies.
All right,
Thank you,
thank you
everyone.
guys. All right,
Have a good
have a
one.
good one.